Welcome to CyberCEO, wherein we talk about how our cyberbackers helped our cyber CEOs take their businesses to the next level. CyberCEO is powered by Cyberbacker, the world's leading provider of admin support services from anywhere in the world to anyone in the world. Please visit our website www.cyberbacker.com for more details. Right, good day to everyone who's watching another beautiful and wonderful day here at Cyberbackers. So I'm back. My name is Jill. I'm the host of CyberCEO. We are very lucky to have another CyberCEO on the show today. Jen, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. Thank you very much for asking. So, for the listeners' benefit, of course, can you tell us something about yourself, Jen?
Oh, goodness. I work as a business coach and CEO of a real estate team, and I have 8 children.
Okay, that's awesome. So, how long have you been in the business, by the way, Jen?
I have been in real estate for about 9.5 years, and I have been in coaching for almost 4.
Oh, wow, long time. So, what does a coach do? What does a business coach do, if you don't mind us asking, Jen?
Yes, what we do is we help folks identify what their goals are, what do they want, right? So often, business specific is where we start. And so really looking at how much money they want to make this year, who they want to help, why is that number important to them? We really ask those types of questions to get to really drilling down, what are we motivated to do? Right? And then we help them establish goals around those things. And then we're going to hold them accountable to make sure that those goals are met. I always say to folks, we're not creating, we're not dreaming, we're setting goals, which
Setting
means that we're
goals.
going to hit them at the end of the year.
Wow, that's awesome. So, you must be talking to a lot of growth-minded people then, am I right?
Absolutely. Most of the folks, if you're going to sign up and really go all in with coaching, you're definitely a growth minded personality for
All
sure.
right, that's good. That's good. Now, how about with your own cyberbacker? Forgot to ask, how long have you been working with one?
Yes. So I have had Grazel it'll be 2 years in September.
2 years. Is this your
Mhm.
first time working with a remote team member, Jen?
Yes. And it has been fantastic.
How about an assistant physically there with you? Have you ever experienced that before?
Yes. So I have several real estate assistants that are in the office, and then Grazel works on my coaching business.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Now, how has the experience been so far since it is your first time working with your own cyberbacker?
I have had a fantastic experience. It really it's such an easy platform, right? Because especially as a coach, everything is digital. And so it's so easy. It translates really well. I really have had no issues. And physically, it's way easier not to have to have space for somebody and those types of pieces. She can jump on calls with me really simply. We do a lot of Zoom and Marco Polo and kind of have videos that are going back and forth. We've had a great experience.
That's good. That's got a great experience. Now, we can safely say then that this partnership has been successful, right?
Absolutely.
Now, what makes it successful, Jen?
Communication is key, I think, when it comes to anyone, frankly, and certainly when you don't have somebody in your face all the time, it's really
Mhm.
important that you're really clear on. I think the first thing is we both are really clear on what our mission and our like what we're doing and how we want to show up for people, how we help folks. And so from the beginning, that has been something Grazel and I were aligned from minute one on how we wanted to show up for our clients. So that I think is number one. And then consistent communication in regards to what she needs from me and what I need from her. Mostly, she's really good
Mhm.
at doing what she needs to be doing. It's me that she has to hound to be like, hey, send me this. And she does which is really helpful to me. I need that reminder because I can kind of get sidetracked with a lot of different things.
Of course. And time is something that is of the essence, of course, when you're doing a lot of things, right? Now, talking
Mm-hmm.
about time, how much the time has she saved you ever since she started working with you in your business?
My goodness. I mean, I don't know that I can give a number, it is so significant. And I think the reason I say that is she's so much more efficient with the admin tasks that would take me. So it's not just the tasks themselves, it's the time it would take me to learn whatever system I would need to learn, and then to actually do the task, because it's not the way my brain works, right? I'm sort of good at my lane, and she's really good at her lane. And so it allows us to stay in each other's lanes. So I would say, I mean, certainly it saves me 20 or 30 hours a week, I would say, of just like and probably more, because she thinks of things that I wouldn't think of to create efficiencies in the business. And I would still be doing it my same way, because I'm just focused on different things, and I wouldn't spend the time or have the resources. And what I love about Cyberbacker is there's so much communication within Cyberbacker. So she comes to me all the time and is like, hey, here's an idea on something we could do. And I'm like, perfect, run with it. And then she can run out the door with it. I don't have to come up with those ideas, which is pretty awesome.
That's the great thing. Of course, our cyberbackers also help one another, especially when they're in need or need suggestions. Oh, they're really open like that. Now, you already touched on it a bit, administrative tasks, right? But of course, for the benefit of everyone who's listening, there are still a lot of people that don't really know what a cyberbacker can do for them. So what are the things, or what are the tasks that your cyberbacker do for you in your business?
Absolutely. So she is essentially, she's all things scheduling. So if I have, she's in charge of the calendar. So she's going to let me know if I've accidentally overlapped and somehow I've stepped into the calendar. And she's like, quit that. So if there's a cancellation, a reschedule, anything that goes on, or if I'm like on vacation, she's handling that. She's making sure that my clients know where to be, when to be there, when not to be there, those pieces. So that in itself is very time consuming. At one point I had 30 clients or more, I don't even know, 35 maybe. And so to manage that many people's schedule and to make sure that we all know when to show up is really a feat. So that's really big. 𝗙𝗃𝗯's so incredible because she can do a lot of different things, but my clients view her as part of the team. Like, they're reaching out to her when they need something sent over, like if they need a document that we talked about, or a book recommendation that I had mentioned on a call. She's on all the calls with me. She's taking notes. She's doing a follow-up recap form to all of my clients. She's putting a list. If I say in the call something I'm going to do, she puts it on my to-do list and then reminds me, thank goodness, to get it done, right? And then if it's something she can get done, she just does it. And so then it's usually done before the call is even over, right? And so we're interacting. What I love about this process is we're interacting all the time, and then she can anticipate what I might need and just get it done, and what my clients might need. And that has been invaluable. So that's another piece that's huge. 𝗙𝗃𝗯 can also, she makes incredible graphics for me. If I need, I'll send her something and I'll be like, can you make this pretty? And she adds pictures and color, and, she's really proficient on Canva. That's really helpful to me. So that, I could keep going. I don't know how long we have, but she does a ton for me.
There's a lot of tasks every day, especially with the schedules, times, reschedules of the clients. That's really great. Now, these type of roles could grow though, right? In the next few months, next weeks, the next year. It is very fast. But what are some of the things that you're considering having 𝗙𝗃𝗯 do for you and your business in the future?
Oh my goodness. So many things. We've been really doing a lot of brainstorming recently, and continuing to, so what I'd ultimately like her to do is sort of manage a couple of other cyberbackers for me that have some specialties, because we're continuing to grow. So if we hire somebody who's specific to digital marketing, or somebody who's specific to, maybe somebody else is going to actually sit on the calls and take the notes in the future. And she's really managing those folks. So that's something that we've talked about, and we're kind of talking to Cyberbacker about. There's, so really just looking at how I always tell her she's in my life now. She's part of the family. And so when I grow, she grows. That's what I want for her. And it's an opportunity to bring in more cyberbackers in the future. So I'm really excited about that.
Wow, so you're going to be creating your own cyberbacker team over there then, is that right?
Maybe so, if they let me.
Of course.
I would say the biggest challenge is the time difference. And I'm just always, she's such a doer that I'm like, please go get sleep. And so that's been something that I always want to help her, remind her, is like, I need her at her best. And if she doesn't have good sleep, then she's not going to be at her best. And so I think that's been the biggest challenge for us to navigate. Like, she's done a great job with it. And I think if I had to think of something, that would be it.
That would be the only thing. Okay. But don't worry, actually, a lot of our cyberbackers are kind of used to working at night. Again, for everyone who's listening, of course, our cyberbackers and me, we are in a different place, of course, not in the same time zone as Jen. Now, last question for you today. There are a lot of people right now listening, wondering, and also thinking about having their own cyberbacker. But there's something stopping them. They're having second thoughts. What advice would you be able to give them, Jen?
I would say get on a call with Cyberbacker. I mean, ask the questions, talk about your concerns, because what I find is you guys have a solution for really any objection. And I think that it cannot hurt for you to at least get on a call and hear the information and hear how it can benefit you. And I think the biggest piece with that is people get caught up in like, oh, I don't know, I need to be in a certain place before I spend the money and do all the things. And yes, I want people to be financially responsible. And yet, if I was still doing that, I wouldn't have been able, I wouldn't be able to grow at the rate that I can grow without having that leverage in place. And so I would just say, go out there, get your questions, write them down. The other thing I might recommend is that people write down a not to-do list. What are the things that I don't want to do in the future that a cyberbacker could do for me, right? And just write all those things down, because that list will grow over time, and then you'll realize, wow, I do have a full-time job for someone else, and think what the time that would free up for me to continue to grow my business.
That's great advice, especially the not to-do list, the things that would take up a lot of your time, but really don't have the time to do. That's good. That's good advice. Lastly, Jen, I know Grace will be listening to the podcast once it's up. Of course, would you want to give her a quick shout out?
Yes. 𝗙𝗯𝗶𝗹 is amazing. She is part of the family. She is so good at what she does. She shows up just at such a high level. My clients love her and feel really connected, feel like she's part of the process, which I think is really beneficial. And what that does for me from a leverage standpoint is everything just doesn't fall on me, right? They're not texting me saying, hey, I'm sick, I can't make this, right? They know, okay, Grazel's my go-to for that, Jen's my go-to for this. And so it just makes things so clear. And I just am so grateful, so grateful.
I know she also loves working with you in your business. I believe that 2 years, I can actually see this going for more years to come. Don't you, Jen?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
So, Jen, first off, we'd like to thank you for your time. We know you're very busy. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
All right. And, of course, to our listeners, if you'd like to know more about Cyberbacker, please visit our website, cyberbacker.com. Again, Jen, thank you for your time. Thank you for listening to our daily dose of CyberCEO. Stay tuned to know more about how Cyberbacker creates a difference in this digital time and age. You can visit our website www.cyberbacker.com and follow our social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Spotify.